Hello everyone. Welcome back to the SGE. This is the stock gearing experiment series where we are doing our fourth installment. Week is almost over and the results are almost in. In this experiment, we are trying to determine whether or not the stock gearing on the bike will allow the bike to run at lower RPMs, and if these lower RPMs will have any effect on reducing the valve clearance recession issue that is plaguing these RX3 bikes. And so far, we have continued to ride the bike at 6,000 RPMs and below, which is with the stock gearing at about 50 miles an hour GPS, as you see here. And so far, the results have been pretty good. RPMs have been steady, and MPG, it's been all right. We're going to continue on with this process to see how we end up by the end of the week. But, well, spoiler alert, you guys have probably already noticed the length of this particular video is quite shorter than my previous SGE installments. And yeah, sad news. Coming out of work this morning, once my shift was over, I tried to start the bike up and it just wouldn't start. The battery, I guess, was too weak to crank the bike over, which was pretty odd. As you guys know, I ride this bike every single day. So to me, there should be no issue and no reason why the battery would fail so prematurely. And you might be thinking, well, you have lights on and auxiliary lights. And in all honesty, my lights that I have, they actually pull the same wattage as the stock halogen bulb. The stock halogen bulb, I think, was like 55 watts or something like that. Maybe 35 watts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if it was 55 watts, my my LED headlight pulls, I believe, 20 watts, and then both of my auxiliary lights together pull about 20 watts as well. So altogether 40 watts, which is 15 watts less than the stock halogen bulb. And if it was 35 watts, I'm not sure. It's only 5 watt difference. And other than that, I'm charging my phone, and sometimes I do have the heated grips on. But still, this bike has a 300 watt alternator and is capable of powering all that equipment, and shouldn't have any issue with powering that equipment and charging the battery at the same time. Yeah, so I know in the past the RX3 has had issues with batteries, and I believe this is going to be no exception. Stock batteries with most of these CSC bikes are not the best. And yeah, I don't really think this is going to be an exception once again. So I've had my bike for, I want to say, 7 months now. And I have no idea how long the bike was literally just sitting before I bought it. But nonetheless, the battery that's within this bike, is at max a year and a half old, maximum. And at the minimum, it would be about 7 months old. Again, I don't have any idea how long the bike was sitting before I bought it, but it's anywhere between that time frame. And I was reading up online that motorcycle battery should last anywhere between 3, 4, 5 years. So for this one to go out in only 7 months, especially when the bike is ridden every single day, that's a problem. That's a sign of very low quality battery, which at this point, it doesn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore with this bike. I've had to constantly replace low quality parts and be deal with the low qualityness of everything, whether it's the engine, whether it's the chain, whether it's a stock spark plug. I mean, all of it. So pretty much the results for today, sadly, there's going to be no MPG results. There's going to be no idle RPM results. You will see the distance traveled and you will see the top speed, but everything else is going to be on pause until tomorrow. I'm going to be getting probably a new battery, and then we'll continue this little experiment tomorrow, and we'll see the results then. All right. Stay tuned. You can continue to observe how the bike is ridden for the ride to work, and then I'll let you guys get some pictures and see a little video of what was actually going on and how the bike just wouldn't turn on and whatnot. All right, so until next time, guys, see y'all later. Side note before I go, for those who may be wondering, I only have about 5,600, maybe 5,700 miles on the bike up to this point. I would have had a whole lot more had I not had so many interruptions and issues. I'm really trying to ride this bike every single day, like I say that I do, which every time that I do have the opportunity to, I try to, because I'm really trying to save money on gas. But I'm doing what I can, and I have 5,700 miles so far. Had the bike been flawless, which, I mean, I understand there's no bike that's going to be completely flawless, but the type of issues that I've been experiencing with this bike, I find to be completely unacceptable. I mean, having valves come loose so prematurely as what I've been experiencing, having to adjust them, up to 10 times this point within only less than 6,000 miles is just ridiculous. And had I not had to deal with all these issues, I probably would have well over 8,000 miles right now, but that's not the case. But hopefully with the results of this test, we'll be able to find out whether, the valves having that recession issue is either due to me riding the bike basically as advertised. Well, not even really. They advertised 5,000 miles at 8,000 RPM. I was riding it at 7,000. But we're going to find out whether it was me riding the bike at 7,000 RPMs or whether this bike was just designed to ride at lower RPMs. We'll find out, and hopefully that is the case, that the bike can survive riding at 6,000 RPMs, so that way it's useful to some degree. Like, it has to have some type of use as a commuter bike. Alright, sadly guys, today's experiment video is going to be cut short. I came out of work today and tried to get on and turn on the bike, but I think the battery is having like draining issues or something. Yeah, so it just won't turn on. Called my insurance, and I wanted to, well, try to get a jump start, but I guess they don't jump start bikes, so it's gonna have to get towed, unfortunately, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, all they need to do is put some juice in the battery, but yeah, my battery is probably, well, it's as old as the bike is. It's this standard stock battery, so I have not been putting the bike on a charger, mainly because I ride it every day, so it should be getting charged while riding, and yeah, it being used every day, I never saw a reason to put it on the charger. But I guess I should start putting it on the charger, but at the same time I think it's just the battery is just going bad. I know that the RX3s have in the past have had a battery issue, and this is really no exception. But at the same time, my bike is a 2021 model. I have no idea how long it's just been sitting before I bought it, and I've had the bike for a little over 6 months now, so it's probably just time to replace it. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'll see what type of battery I can get and potentially replace it, so that way I can keep on riding it, because I need some kind of vehicle to get back and forth from work, and my truck is still down that right now. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Sorry. Alright, I got the bike home, and I got her on the charger. I'm starting, I guess this upgrade's not so useless after all. I'm starting to get some use out of it. It's going to be charging for a while. I would have really thought that the battery, the stock battery in this bike, would have lasted a lot longer. I actually started to do a little bit of research on motorcycle batteries, and I've found that they should last anywhere from 2 to 5 years. And again, I don't know how long the battery has just been sitting in this bike, but this bike is only a year and a half old, so I should have got at least 2 years on the low end, but up to 5 years, especially with me riding it every day. Yeah, that's just kind of odd that it died so quickly. Again, mistakenly I said that I had the bike for only 6 months. I've had it for 7.5. Yeah, about 7 months. I got it middle of January 15th. And it's about August 15th, almost August 15th, so about that, 7 months. But still, I would have expected the battery to last a whole lot longer. And there's other RX3 owners out there who report that their stock battery lasted quite a while. So, something going up there. Once this is all charged back up, I guess I have to fork up however much I need to fork up to get a much better battery in this thing, and then we'll see y'all tomorrow. Alright, until next time, stay safe out there. Peace.